So regardless of mock draft, so let's take our order out. Who would you say is your number one? Because me and him have been disagreeing about this as well. Who's your number one, regardless of mock draft? Just best prospect.
It's tough. It's
It's
tough.
just it is pretty close. It sort of depends on what are you trying to do with your team?
Yeah.
Because it's just so you got I'm still high on Wiseman. I understand the argument. Okay, he's a big guy in a game that is kind of getting away from those kind of players. He's still 7'1".
Yeah.
That's a fluid athlete that finishes at the rim, rebounds, block shots, and he's skilled. I mean, I
Yeah.
think he's going to be able to shoot threes. So I mean, I'm not going to answer your question directly, but I'll give you a loose answer here. I would probably go with these three guys as my top guys: as Wiseman, Edwards, and Toppin, with
Okay.
Okongwu knocking on the door.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
I
And,
like
not,
that.
not necessarily in that order either. I really have those guys pretty close. They're so different. It's hard to say.
I agree with you, and I liked how you said Okongwu and Toppin because those are the two guys that I just don't feel like I've heard enough at the top, especially Toppin. And I'm thinking I watch him at Dayton, go for 20 and 8 on 63% shooting. He's a freak athlete. The only thing I would say about him is on the defensive end, he's a powerful jumper, but he's almost not like a quick jumper. You know what I mean? So if you can get him on a pump fake, he doesn't get up as quick as like Okongwu. But he just seems so powerful to me. I don't know. I don't really know why. The highest I see him is like 5 or 6. It's like the highest I see him anywhere.
You're talking about Toppin or Okongwu?
Toppin. I see Okongwu pretty high, but I haven't seen Toppin above 5 or 6, and that's most of them have him 7 ish.
Right. I mean, I think based on my conversations with NBA people, I think most people have him pretty high.
Okay.
I've even heard teams have him as high as number one.
Wow.
He's. I mean, I was in Maui. You had to watch Dayton for several days in a row, and
Yeah.
he's just really good. He's really good. And I mean, defensively, it's not the. I think he's a pretty quick jumper and a good second jumper. Lateral quickness is a little bit of an issue there. I mean, he's a pretty north-south athlete, even though he's elite at being a north-south athlete. But that's where a lot of the comparisons are drawn to Amari Stoudemire. That's how Amari was. I mean, he's very, he's jumps out of the gym and if he's coming at you downhill. He's coming hard, but he's not moving his feet that great. Which, so I mean, I've seen some people put him as as a guy that could be play on the wing.
Yeah.
I don't see that.
No.
I think he's a modern power forward.
Yeah.
I think he's a 4 for sure.
And I'd be shocked if Obi got out of the top 5. I think he's just got too much talent. He's such a dynamic guy offensively.
So, are you still traveling to see these players a lot? And if you are, who's been the most impressive in person, maybe?
Traveled all season long. I mean, I watched a number of different guys. Pretty much watch everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, Obi Toppin's the guy. I mean, I went into this season excited about him, but I still needed to see more. I hadn't seen him in person last year. Watched just on film and really liked him. And then I saw him in Maui for several days, and he was big time. And then watched him again shortly after that. And he's the guy that seeing him in person, moved him up the most. And then I mean, as far as now, I mean, I had planned to travel. I was all set to go to the Big East tournament, and then the Big Ten tournament, followed by the NCAA tournament, and obviously all those plans have been scratched. Now we're just watching a lot of film, working the phones, still doing our homework. It's just plans have changed.